Today's Sunday, January 12th, and it's raining. It just started raining today, and it's raining quite a bit right now here in Portland, Oregon. This morning, as I was trying to wake up, I was just laying in bed, and a lot of times I go to YouTube, and the first video that I want to watch is from the channel called Ellie Dreams Down Under. And she does tarot card readings. She's located in Australia, and I just like her. I used to watch a different channel first thing in the morning, but around the time of the election, maybe even before the election, I decided to steer myself away from watching news and political commentary. So I stopped watching that channel on purpose. I still am subscribed, but I just purposely don't watch many at all of those videos. And so I'm watching Ellie Dreams Down Under because she's very, I don't know, there's something calm, happy, sweet, peaceful about her, but also she wanted to go into journalism when she was in college, and she regrets that she changed her major. And she changed her major, she says, because a professor took her aside after a class that she had with them and told her something discouraging, said something like, "You're not cut out for this major, and I think that you shouldn't have this as your major, journalism." Well, she says that now, in retrospect, 30 or whatever years later, she realizes he was completely wrong, and that she was cut out for it. But, in the meantime, she's done a lot of different things with her life. So now her channel is really more spiritual and investigative, and she reads parts of the Bible. She also reads I think it's called the Gnostic Gospels or something. Some of them she's read, like the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary, and she, it takes a lot of effort and time and energy to go reading those kinds of things, do the research to maybe figure out the translations, see what those might be saying. They were written so long ago, and then come up with what they might mean, what they might be talking about. So today, she mentioned in a reading for today that the more and more she looks at it, and the more and more cards she draws, the more reading she does about all of this, the more information she gains. And right now she's been thinking that it's organized religion, not individual pastors or rabbis, not individuals who are necessarily the Antichrist, but that organized religion, the church, with capital C, may actually be the Antichrist, because Christ is love. What Christ was about is love, and the church leads people away from love. And it's not all of it, she said, but some of it. And I noticed that too. I wasn't ever so bold that I remember to say the church is the Antichrist or Satan, but I've seen so much now that a lot of times it gets caught up in with greed, especially, and coercion and taking advantage of people. It's fertile ground for that. And then the relatives I have who have gone to church almost every single Sunday for their whole lives, from cradle to grave, are the most surprising people, compared to people I know who haven't gone to church hardly at all, if at all, or even myself. I've gone a short, not that many times, but I've gone enough times. And so I've gained things from my time in church, especially Vacation Bible School. That was a week every summer when I was a kid, and I would go there. It was a Mennonite church in the neighborhood that I lived in, and they had a bus service, and so they would come around and pick you up if your parents signed you up for it. So I remember my favorite song going there was This Little Light of Mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And then it was like, not gonna let anyone blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. And yeah, we would hold our finger up like this. Well, I think that's a good song, especially for a kid. And, you know, all of the hard things that you go through as a kid. I went through a lot of hard stuff. And that was it, the light inside me. And then right after, I gotta say this, right after the video by Ellie Dreams Down Under, when she mentioned that that's what she's been thinking through all of this research and all these card readings she's been doing, that the church is kind of like anti-love. And there was another psychic channel that popped up that I watched somehow right after that. So I was like, but I'm drifting in and out of sleep, so I don't know how it just kind of automatically played after that. I think it was called the Gypsy Tarot Reader, and I don't think I was subscribed to it at the time. So I think since I've subscribed to it, I've saved these links to those two videos, because she also was saying about the Antichrist and the church. So, and these two, her video and Ellie Dreams Down Under video were all uploaded within the last 2 days. So I don't know if they know of each other or what, but sometimes synchronicity happens. And even if they do know of each other, I still, it had so much meaning to me. It brought me peace, because it felt like it was able to put into words and concepts explanations of what I've been sensing for a long, long time. And it put me at peace and rest about these things, because before it, I was like noticing these things, noticing the greed, noticing the coercion, the abuse of control, the authoritarianism, and the effect it has on people's like relationship with God. And also she mentioned like that it encourages people to worship God instead of be like Jesus. It says in the Bible you should be like Jesus, but there's a lot of other things it says in the Bible too, and a lot of them are contradictory. People like scholars and theologists, they try to make it not contradictory, but I think it still is. And Ellie was just boldly pointing out in the last few days how contradictory it really is. Like, do not kill, and then in the same, not the same breath, but like the same God, Yahweh, is telling people to like sacrifice, make sacrifices, animal sacrifices, human sacrifices, whatever. And so but what? Thou shalt not kill. And then that. It's almost like there's two different gods, two different messages. What's going on? So yeah, I was feeling that blasphemous. I was feeling guilty for being so critical of the church, because I see people as really getting a lot of strength out of being together, coming together, and it giving people a space to like prioritize God in their life. But if the effect it ends up having is on them to like invest more energy in judging themselves and judging one another, then that might be Antichrist. So that makes me want to like watch some videos that I've watched on the book of Revelations and what it says is going to happen. Ellie also says that she's starting to think more and more that the Bible might be about alien interactions with humans. If you think about it, God is an alien. God is not from this earth. And angels are also kind of like aliens, maybe. Unless they lived on this earth, then maybe they're not. But if we saw angels or we interacted with them, we might kind of like interpret them similar to how we would interpret aliens. Just something to think about. Not everyone feels the need to be spiritual or think about these things, but I always have. I always have. I have no interest in forgetting about this stuff. I have more of an interest in figuring it out for myself. All right, well, thanks for letting me share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.